Hey, everybody. It is Chuck Barone on Thursday, August the 29th, 2024. End of the week coming. Big day tomorrow. PCE. Big day today, man. Powell, I got to say, man, this guy, if I'm a casino boss in Vegas, I think I'd be a little terrified if Powell comes walking into my casino because this guy is really something, man. Everything literally has gone his way, and today not much changing. Everything's still going his way. It's incredible, honest. All right. So before I get rolling, let me have to take a second. Welcome everybody to the show. All my friends on the chat here. Nice to see everybody. The usual suspects. Good day, everybody, and everybody else watching the video. Welcome to everybody. We appreciate your support. All right, so let's talk about markets today. So we knew we were going to get some data today, and we did. We got jobs, which worked out pretty much exactly the way they were hoping. And we got the final numbers for second quarter GDP, which were actually revised higher. I thought 2.8 was pretty high already, especially coming up 1.4 in the first quarter. Now they revised it up. The economy is still going, even though everybody that's living in this economy is saying no, no, no. Wall Street's saying go. It's crazy. Do you see these stock market today? Okay, so check it out. The Dow Jones, everything coming up roses for the Dow, jumps to a brand new world record again, up 243 points today, now at 49,000. No, yes, 49,335. An incredible number. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just rocking and rolling. And the interesting thing was the Dow was up considerably, setting a new high, while the Nasdaq and the S&P were coming down. So the Nasdaq falls 39 points to 17,516 on the Nasdaq. The S&P essentially flat. It was down less than 1 point, sitting at 5,591 on the S&P 500. That was all about NVIDIA. That's another wonderful story here, man. You got to say Wall Street really is a little bit crazy right now. So everybody was holding their breath yesterday, waiting for NVIDIA's earnings. We got the earnings, and they came out pretty much like Wall Street anticipated. They hit the earnings number, no problem. Guidance going forward, all good. Everything looking good. Wall Street disappointed. Why? Because they've been blowing out their numbers, right? So whatever Wall Street's been estimating they're coming in at per share, they've been blowing that out. Well, they didn't blow it out yesterday, so stock down 6% today. Boom. And that took the NASDAQ with it, and the S&P kind of stopped the S&P from having any kind of gain. Yay, NVIDIA, man. When the whole market is so reliant on the ups and downs of just a few stocks, you're going to get some massive volatility. I'm surprised the VIX isn't higher, guys, because we're going to see this kind of weirdness because everything's so concentrated in just a few stocks. Bond market today, not much happening. Yields rising just a little bit. The 2-year or the 10-year rises 2 basis points, now sitting at 3.87%. The 2-year in tandem rises 2 basis points, now sitting at 3.89%. So you can see the inversion here is now just 2 basis points. So it's just literally time for that yield curve to kind of get back to normal. Incredibly, it looks like if everything keeps coming up roses for Powell like this, looks like we're actually going to get out of this inflation without a recession. I still got to see it to believe it, guys. I keep saying it, but I got to admit, man, I still have trouble believing in everything's going to be perfect. I just don't buy that yet. But maybe I'll have to be convinced and change my mind, right? So bonds, not much happening today. Tomorrow will be the day for the bond market. And plus, we need to see, we haven't said much at all about how yesterday's and today's auctions went. Rates really not moving much. So that would indicate the auctions went okay, but that's not necessarily so, depending on how much the dealers are holding, right? All right, moving on. Dollar today rallies up again, man. Go figure. Dollar up 38 basis points on the index. 101.39. Dollar go strong. Dollar, good thing for America. And I'm happy to see it rally up a little bit. I thought it was about to really tank out to less than 100, but our rates are a little bit higher than Europe and some of our competitors. That's keeping the dollar a little bit stronger. And now that it looks like that half-point cut is off, kind of not going to work out in September, I think that's why you're seeing the dollar gathering a little bit of strength. Precious metals today. Go figure. Even with the stronger dollar, precious metals rally up today. Gold up $17.20. $2,522.30. An amazing number for gold, guys. They would have told us at the beginning of the year that gold would be here on this day, we all would have been dancing and jumping up and down, man. Crazy. Silver rallies up 26 cents. It's getting ready to make a run at 30, guys. $29.35. It's inching its way back up. That was right at close to 30. Fell back down a little bit, now inching its way back up. Let's go silver. We need to break through 30. Oil today rallies up. Oil up $1.39 per barrel. $75.91 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. So it jumped a little bit higher than the trough we're seeing. I'm telling you guys, it's going to get back into that trough. Believe it. Bitcoin today up small, up $226. 59,442 for Bitcoin. So it now is doing the same thing silver is, running into this resistance on the chart. Bitcoin, needs to break through that 60. It's broken through a couple times, hasn't been able to maintain it. Now it's looking like it's getting ready to make another run at it. So we'll be watching, of course, silver and Bitcoin, talking about it as it happens daily. All right, let's talk about the data we got today. Jobless claims come in. Now, the Fed has really been watching the jobs market because they felt, in the beginning, they felt like that was the driver of the inflation. So they wanted to knock jobs down and did. Okay. And now they're afraid they might have gone a little too far. They want to keep everything manageable, right? But jobs came down. Actually, the number fell 2,000 this week, 231,000 for their claims. Down, like I said, down 2,000 from last week. They were expecting 232, so they're just under what they were expecting, perfectly in line with what they wanted. Still shows a job market that's reasonable, but starting to weaken at these numbers. So we'll see now. What's the next move in this job market? Is the Fed going to pull this perfect landing up? I got to see it, guys. I got to see it. Also today, we got final GDP numbers for the second quarter. We're going to be watching, man, because we'll see how things come for this third one. Atlanta GDP now says 2% so far, third quarter. They revised the second quarter up. Usually the revisions are down big, right? But this time they revised it up. It was at 2.8% for the second quarter, revised up now, the final number at 3%. 3%. The first quarter came in 1.4%. So this is a pretty big leap in domestic product growth in the second quarter. Consumer spending, of course, yay, consumer spending, and was also revised higher. So last month they said it was 2.3%. It rose. Nope, rose 2.9. So consumers still spending. Personal incomes also rose again, as did corporate profits. So everything working out exactly like Powell wants. Exactly. Fed couldn't ask for more. It's really something, right? So you're getting GDP moving faster than it was in the first quarter, accelerating. Consumers, even though they're carrying tons of debt, continuing to spend money, with their spending revised higher. You got personal incomes continuing to rise. And as I said yesterday, according to the government, the good old government, people are actually, even with the wage increases, even in spite of the inflation, people actually, their wage increase is higher than the cumulative inflation. Now, I'm not so sure if I believe that. I mean, cumulative inflation, we can see that every day, 20% roughly, right? Especially in the supermarket. Tell me, guys, are your checks up 20%? cumulatively. I would have to again see that to believe it. We know my story. They're certainly not. But according to government statistics, corporate profits up, incomes up, consumer spending up, everything going perfect, 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 perfect. Okay. Imports to the U.S. surging now. Go figure, guys. Importers want to hurry up and get this done. Here's why. They're afraid if Trump's elected, here come the tariffs, more money. So they're trying to now that inventory is growing at the same time for wholesalers because they're front ordering everything that needs to be imported, trying to get in ahead of those tariffs. It's freaking crazy, man. It just is crazy. Okay. Um, PCE tomorrow. We know that's what everybody's waiting for tomorrow. So the numbers are expected to come in 0.2% month over month, 2.5% top line year over year, 2.7% core year over year. We're also going to get consumer spending tomorrow, which is expected to be up again, a half a point month over month for consumer spending. So this is big data. If the Fed can get these numbers, or even better than these numbers, they're right in the pocket, man, right where they want to be. It's really incredible, honest. The way this economy is working out for the Federal Reserve, it really is something, guys. I mean, you got it. Well, I mean, 2.5 still not a great number. You know, when they want 2 or less, 2.5 is still not a great number, but it's certainly better than the numbers we've been seeing. And it looks like they've kind of wrung out all the big rises in rents, and looks like they got kind of it a little bit manageable. Now, what's going to be interesting, and I saw a little bit on the chat here, once they start cutting rates, does that spark inflation like it did in the 70s and 80s? Because last time we had this situation, the Federal Reserve basically did the same thing they're doing now. Okay? They kind of declared victory before they hit the target. Now, back then there was, but they had their target. We just didn't talk about it. And they declared, you know, they saw that unemployment was really starting to spike. They stopped, did an about face like Powell's doing now, the big pivot, started cutting rates. Boom, here came inflation back, and it's exactly what you're saying there, Dave. Had to start raising rates again. So rates started really going, seesawing up and down, because every time they tried to cut rates, inflation not only spiked back up to where it was, but actually high. And it finally culminated in, that's all BS. Okay. Well, I was there. I watched all that happen. But okay. Everybody gets to have an opinion, I guess. Anyway, finally, we had Volcker come in, crush the life out of the economy by raising rates continually until they hit almost 20% overnight. Of course, that caused a massive collapse in the economy, big recession, 10% unemployment, and all that fun stuff. Everybody hated it then, but he certainly was an amazing thing that he did, because he set the economy up for basically 30 years of rate cuts. So there you have it. I just don't know if Powell's going to pull it off the same way. Okay, anyway, there's moving on. First come the real estate agents. Now they're coming after the title companies. Apparently, not having real estate agents make any money anymore. Now they want the title companies to not make any money either. I guess there's been some kickbacks to realtors for referring to the title companies. I gotta say that I'm a little bit skeptical about that. I've been working with title a long time. They never every once in a while they'll buy you a sandwich. Maybe they'll have like a once a year thank you party for everybody. But man, it just seems like for some reason they want to pulverize real estate into eternity. They don't want anybody making money in real estate anymore. like somehow or another we're the reason that real estate is where it is. It's bullshit, man. Title companies now, we'll see where this investigation goes. A couple of title companies already pled guilty to kickback schemes, paid millions of dollars in fines. So this is going to get bigger, just like it did with the real estate agents. We'll see where it goes, but it's certainly, well, I got to admit, title companies do get over a little bit because you could refi, like you bought your house a year ago, and now rates come down, you're refining, you still have to buy title insurance again a year later. Now, maybe they'll give you a little bit of a discount on it, but they're going to ring the register, and title insurance is not cheap. Okay. But that's the rules the state sets, not the title company. And again, when people use title companies, especially once they find an escrow agent they like, they continually go to that person because they're getting the service, the quality of the service they want. They're taking care of their customers the way they want them. But somehow or another, having a relationship like that with somebody in business is a bad thing. And it's just, these ideas are all coming from people who've never done business, guys. Knuckleheads, theorists, professors, people who don't really do business and deal with people. They have no idea how it really, really gets done. Listen to this, guys. By October of this year, $950 billion in CDs will have to be rolled over. By October of this year, the next 2 months, $950 billion in CDs, just in time for the rates to start coming down. So people who got their CDs maturing in October probably going to be looking at lower rates than they got when they bought the CD a year ago. They said that there's 2.5 trillion that's going to roll over in the next year. Wow, man, that is just a wave of cash. That's amazing to me. I guess they really want to move that cash. That was the wave of cash that kind of left stock and bond markets and back to banks for CDs and higher interest rates. Now that wave's going to take it all right back. It's poor schmuckatelli, we just can't win, guys. We just can't win. Man. The game is so rigged against us. Working people get the worst of it every single freaking time, every single freaking way. It sucks. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody on the chat. You guys are cool. Tomorrow we'll have numbers. We'll have some big numbers to talk about. Let's see what happens. I got to say, man, Powell's been rolling. Boom, boom, boom. He's been winning, man. So if I'm on the crap table with Powell right now, I'm probably going to bet the numbers are all going to work out pretty good for him because this is a guy who has not crapped out in quite a while. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. Everybody, man, I appreciate the support. Please hit the thumbs up. Hit the like on the way out, guys. It changes the algorithms around. It gets our video out in front of a few more people. We really need some more views. I would appreciate that. Back tomorrow to bring everybody the news they need and to wrap up this crazy week and this crazy month of August, guys. Everybody have a great evening. I'm going to go watch Coach Dion in Colorado get their season started. Real football that really counts. Cool. Off to the sports book on my phone, a little wager, and let's see some real football. All right, guys. Everybody have a good evening, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, everybody, take care. Thanks.